We greatly improved the history feature of MiraCheck, and in this video I'm going to walk you through those enhancements and how it applies to the flight timer and taking personal notes. So I'm in MiraCheck here, and in the top right here we have this timer, and if you click on it, you see the current local time, the current Zulu time, and for this session of the checklist, when you time out and when you time in, so your Hobbs type time basically. And it's a very accurate flight timer because it's all based on exactly when you check when you're starting the engine and check when you're pulling the mixture on some airplanes or shutting down the engine. So let's go through this. So you can attach to any checklist item in the editor in MiraCheck Cloud. You can say when an item should start the timer and when an item should stop the timer. So I have master on starting my timer, and in my plane pulling the mixture stopping the timer. So
check master on.
So right now, if I show the timer, we still don't have a timeout. If I click master on,
check mags start,
you'll see we now have a timeout of 6 a.m., 6:01 a.m. And if I keep checking through these, say I'm flying an hour, you'll see up in this top right, it'll have my elapsed time of an hour. And when I pull mixture rich, it will then show me my time in as whatever that time is. And if you go to Quick Sync on the menu, Quick Sync is syncing all the data locally that's on this mobile device up to MiraCheck Cloud. And it also syncs, if you were doing edits in MiraCheck Cloud to your checklist content, that back down to the mobile device. So if we do a quick sync, this message that's coming up is basically saying, okay, I've synced all this data, you have a current checklist loaded. If you made edits in the cloud, you want to update the current checklist. I'm going to say cancel here because I'm in the middle of a checklist. You would say yes if you wanted to reset the checklist. So we come back, and actually we're going to go to the menu and we're going to go to MiraCheck Cloud, and you see on the left there's a history feature. If I click that history feature, it's loading the history from every checklist across every device you have MiraCheck on, and you get a top level view of every one of those checklists. And when you click on one of the checklists, you then get a timeline of every session that you've had with that checklist. And it sorts it from last one you took down to the first one you took, so you're immediately looking at the current one you're working on. So session 10, you already see there's your log time, 6:01 a.m. is when we timed out. Now, even more advanced, the checklist content, that shows the exact state of that session of that checklist, and it gives you completion status as well. So it's showing you that you started the pre-flight with yellow. All the other ones you haven't even visited yet. And if we go to pre-flight, it's showing that you completed the entire interior list. The start section, you started, and it shows you the exact state, so exactly where you're at this point. This feature is very useful for improving your checklist over time. Maybe you notice every time you just never visit certain things and such. It may help you rethink those things and how you want to organize them and such. So that is the checklist content. Checklist history is even more detailed. This is a complete log, a complete history of exactly what led through this checklist. So you'll see it shows, okay, I opened this checklist at a certain time, then I did nothing with it. Then I reopened it at another time, and then I checked, and there's a timestamp of every single one of these. I checked what exact items were checked up until that point, and you see we ended with at 6:01 or 10:01 Zulu, master on was checked. So that's how this detailed history stuff works. And let me show you personal notes. So if I go back to my checklist, so maybe I have some squawks while I was walking around the aircraft or even in flight. So I'm pressing and holding on an item so that I can enter some notes with that item. So maybe the mags switch is a little loose. So I'm saying, okay, my mag switch is loose.
Check. Oil pressure. Check. Lights, as required.
And I noticed in the oil pressure,
skip. Oil pressure.
that the needle wasn't steady, for example. So I took a couple squawks, and you'll see there's little notes attached to that. So now when I quick sync, and I go back to that history, so I'm clicking on MiraCheck Cloud again. And I'm going to click the refresh button here since I'm still in here. If I would have reloaded this, it would have already had it. So I refresh. And you'll see now that a notes thing suddenly appeared under that session. Whenever there's any notes, you then get this notes section, and it bubbles up all of the notes you took throughout that checklist into one place so you can see all your notes at once. So there's all your notes for that. Again, there's your log, and you can always go through that detailed history. So that's a good overview of the new history feature. The history feature is a very advanced feature. It's part of the Pro plan, so go check it out.